What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we have a brand new 7-star Terra Raid battle for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and we're going to be breaking it all down here. But of course, guys, if you like my type of content, enjoy these videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining PanFam and that join channel member button below. So let's dive right into things. And the raid battle is going to be Mightiest Mark 7-star Terra Raid for Poison Terra type Swampert. That's going to begin this week from May 31st to June 2nd. Now, if you are going to be on the United States here, like I am, this is actually going to be on May 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So this Thursday, we will be raiding for that Poison Terra Swampert. And of course, if you miss it this week, you can do it all over again, which is going to be from June 7th to June 9th. And like the previous Mightiest Mark raids from this year, they are going to have Urban Mystica. So we're going to have a 15% chance of getting at least one Urban Mystica. So if you don't have herbs, this is going to be a great raid to farm for those. Now, Poison Terra is going to be a little bit rough. Poison is only weak to both Psychic and Ground. And of course, Swampert is a Water and Ground type, meaning it has stab water moves to deal with the ground types. So Psychic might be the better way to go. But let's break down its moves right over here. Now, Swampert is actually a really good Pokemon. It will have its hidden ability, which is Damp. Damp's not that great. It just means explosive moves won't happen. No one's going to be using Self-Destruct in this raid in general. But looking at its base stats, this Pokemon is actually really strong. 100 HP is great for general bulk. With a 90 defense and 90 special defense, this is definitely going to be a hard Pokemon to get down in a one-turn KO scenario. I'm going to have to run the calcs to see if it is even possible. But it's definitely going to be one of the harder Pokemon to do it on. Now, it has base 110 attack, which is absolutely massive. And, 85 special attack, which isn't great, but it did definitely surprise us with a random special move. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of the random moves at like 30% or 50% of its max life or timer life will just have a special move. Now, the only bad thing about Swampert is its base 60 speed, which is really bad, which is great for us, which means we're going to have a lot of setup options that we could use to defeat this thing. So at least that's the one positive of this raid. But overall, Swampert is an incredibly bulky Pokemon that has a lot of great stats to it from its offenses and its defenses. Now, looking at the moves that it learns, it's going to be a physical attacker for the most part because it is base 110. And the natural physical moves it learns, the only ones I could think that's remotely scary is actually Rock Slide, which I'm not really afraid about. But moves learned by Reminder is a little bit more scary, right? It gets Earthquake. So I do think a Stab Earthquake is coming our way. It also has Hammer Arm and Rock Smash. I think Hammer Arm is more likely, but I don't really think it's going to have Hammer Arm to cover for its poison weakness, because as I mentioned before, it's going to be weak to Psychic and it's going to be weak to Ground. But it also learns Surf, so I could totally see Surf being put up here as well, or something like a Muddy Water too, because Muddy Water fits more on point with the actual Pokemon in general. Now, looking at the TMs, it has the insane Gen 3 TM move pool over here. But once again, I'm only going to be really focusing too much on the physical moves because I think Swampert is going to be much more of a physical attacker, as we saw, because it has that base 110 physical attack. Now, the moves that it's probably going to have, as I mentioned, it's weak to Psychic, is weak to Ground. So it needs moves to cover for those weaknesses. And the move that really sticks out to me is going to be Knockoff. This is the best move it has on the physical side that can beat a Psychic type Pokemon. It doesn't have any ghost moves, but it does have Knockoff. Now, Knockoff will be doing double damage if we are holding an item, and we're always going to be holding an item in a Terra Raid battle. So this is going to do a crap ton of damage. It's going to be doing 130 to us. And yeah, it'll be doing that 130 once, but that's all it really needs, especially against some frail Pokemon that we might use in the Psychic type slot here. So definitely be in a watch out for Knockoff. Other moves that it could have that are really good that could cover for its ground weakness here. I mean, it does have Waterfall. That's a stab water move, which is going to do a lot. Waterfall can flinch if it does outspeed us, so we definitely got to respect Waterfall. I can also see it having a Poison Jab because it is Terra Poison. So it's going to need some sort of strong Terra Poison move. Could have Terra Blast, of course, but Poison Jab is better than Terra Blast, as they both do 80 damage, but Poison Jab can also leave the poison status on us. So I do think Poison Jab is going to be a must lock. So currently right now, I'm looking at like an Earthquake, a Waterfall, a poison jab, and a knockoff as the 4 main moves. Now, of course, it could have any of these other moves. It has so many options like high horsepower, stomping tantrum, rock slide, liquidation. Like, there's a lot of different things it could have. But when we look at the setup move wise, this Pokemon does have some options. I think Curse is something we need to respect. Meganium had Curse, and Curse for a non-ghost type increases your attack and defense by 1, lowers your speed by 1. Because it's a slow Pokemon, it doesn't really care about lowering its speed anymore. It's always going to go second for the most part. So I think Curse can be really scary when attacking on that physical side. But besides Curse, I mean, Rain Dance is scary because it'll give itself a bonus to its water moves at 50%. That could be really scary too. It also has Bulk Up as well, so essentially Curse with no downside. I could see that happening too. But besides that, I don't really think it's going to have any of those, anything too scary, right? There's no Swords Dance. There's no Calm Mind. There's no Quiver Dance. There's no Reflect. There's no Light Screen. So overall, I do think this Pokemon is going to be really good. It's going to be hard for us to take down. But its setup moves will not be the thing to defeat us. I think what's going to defeat us is like that raw stab, water, and ground type moves coming from its base 110 attack. And then you add the Terra Poison on top of that. And that's going to limit our options with the Psychic type Pokemon and the ground type Pokemon. Now, I do think ground type Pokemon that are, somewhat like resistant to water or have like water absorb would be absolutely phenomenal. So something like a Quagsire or a Clodsire could be decent here. I mean, Clodsire is weak to ground, but like there is potential, right? If you have water absorb, that's going to be great. Or if you're a flying type Pokemon or a Pokemon with levitate to avoid the ground type moves, that's going to be great as well. Or, if you are somehow like a steel type Pokemon to dodge those poison type moves, and then you have something like a flying type status to it, or like a levitate, that could be absolutely phenomenal for this raid as well. And in my upcoming video, we're going to go over the best Pokemon to defeat this upcoming 7-star Mightiest Mark Swampert. But let me know in the comment section below what Pokemon you plan on using to defeat this Swampert. I do think this Pokemon is going to be a little bit tough, especially for solo builds, just because it just has so many stats. So it's definitely going to be a problem, but as a community, I'm sure we can definitely figure it out and easily display this amphibian. But there we have it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. And of course, don't forget, I'll be raiding this raid live this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So you want to be there for the live stream, definitely come check it out. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.